What's going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for tuning into another episode of Mikasa Sukasa. As always, I am your host, Niko House, and I want to urge you all to support the show by donating to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/Mikasa Sukasa, or you can just click in the link in the description below. It's probably easier, so just do that. But I do want to go ahead and get started. So as most of you all know, I am good friends with H.A. Goodman, but I also respect him as a colleague. And the reason why is because me and him both live by a simple rule. If you are not going to be bold in your discussion, in your analysis of politics, then there's no reason to discuss it at all. And we both make bold predictions, and both of us tend to be right, which is why we've grown such a fondness for each other's work. Another prediction that H.A. has made has actually come true, and this is one of his more outlandish ones, I would say. About a month and a half ago, H.A. Goodman said that Buzzfeed will sue the DNC. I was like, oh no, it's kind of a stretch, don't you think? According to Vanity Fair, it is not a stretch at all. Vanity Fair reads, in a nutshell, BuzzFeed believes that the DNC has information that could show a link between Gubarev and the email hacking, which would undercut his libel claim. We're asking, this is quoted, we're asking the federal court to force the DNC to follow the law and allow BuzzFeed to fully defend its First Amendment rights, a BuzzFeed spokesperson wrote in an email. I want y'all to, do y'all hear the irony of this? BuzzFeed is suing the DNC because the DNC got information from somebody that was given to BuzzFeed because of the DNC. I think that makes sense, right? That makes sense? Yeah, I think so. So the DNC is being sued because of information they paid someone else to get, that released that information, that caused another lawsuit, therefore they're being sued. Man, that was like a logic game on the LSAT. But yeah, that's what happened. So that's what we're dealing with. And it's hilarious. Let me tell you why it's hilarious. One of the reasons it's hilarious is because now there is a good probability that BuzzFeed is going to get documents from the DNC forcefully before the FBI does. But two, it's also hilarious because if I have information that could prove that another superpower was colluding illegally or hacking whatever, or working with a president to commit treason, whatever, I mean, it's 30,000 things that Russia's been accused of at this point. They're like the Pink Panther of international crime. They just do everything apparently. But I would give it if I didn't have anything to hide. Why do you have to subpoena somebody? Oh, you have to subpoena them because the DNC said it's a matter of privacy, people. It's a matter of privacy. And so, privacy. You can't make a claim that another superpower tried to pretty much instigate a war by hacking our elections in one form or fashion or another, and then say, yeah, but because of privacy reasons, I really don't want you in my emails. You know, I just really feel uncomfortable with that. Oh my God, get out of my room. What? Come on. Come on. If this is ever going to be tried in court, you have to give up whatever the information would be anyway, because that would be the only proof. Just like you haven't given the servers to the FBI, even though if you did, we wouldn't need a special investigative counsel. James Comey probably wouldn't have got fired if what you were saying was true. We wouldn't need to be going through this. But I'm going to tell you why we're doing it. I'm going to tell you why. Because they want to impeach Trump. And they've introduced articles of impeachment already a while ago. They weren't going to go anywhere. But it was never about getting him impeached. It was about dragging this process out as long as humanly possible, because the elections, despite popular belief, don't start in 2020, they start in 2019. And what I mean by that is when you start running for office, you have to start about a year or so in advance. Now that's huge. Want to know why? There is one party in particular that has always had a habit of running primary candidates against the sitting president. And that would be the Republican Party, as they did with George W. Bush. So you don't think that they would try to run another less, I don't know if you call him less right, because he's not really right in a lot of ways. But, I mean, the dude said he would take everybody's guns and ask questions later, okay? So he's not that much further right than a lot of Republicans. But to get control of their establishment, they would absolutely run a candidate against Donald Trump. So the Republicans may be okay with starting the impeachment process, but the Democrats are definitely going to start an impeachment process that they don't even care if it ends. They just want to occupy so much of Trump's time, so much of his image. They want to make every single debate question, every single conversation during the election as much. They want to take those conversations, as far away from Medicare for all, single payer health care, environmental issues, war overseas, bombing of innocent nations. I mean, anything you can think of that may be a progressive issue or just an issue in infrastructure talks, anything, taxes, anything that would mean legitimate progress. They don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about a Trump impeachment process. They want to talk about Russiagate. They want to do whatever they can to not have to deal with your issues. So the question I have for all those who believe the Russiagate bullshit, if you don't have anything to hide, then why are you hiding it? Especially if it could literally end this entire investigation one way or the other. And my second question is, why aren't you curious? If they did it, they did it. If they didn't, when I say they, I mean Russia. If they did it, they did it. If they did not, they didn't. And move on. The arbitrary assertion that somebody in Russia tried to hack our elections at some point in time. Yeah, they're a superpower. Saudi Arabia pretty much hacks our elections with their money every year. So does Israel. So does Qatar. So does Jordan. I mean, do I need to go on? But to make an assertion that a country hacked an election in favor of one particular candidate over another is an entirely different thing. And dragging people's names through the dirt, ending careers, ending relationships, causing mass hysteria and fear-mongering. Once again, people, the same tactic that they used with Russia during the Cold War, if you all don't remember. Communism is the enemy. Russia is the enemy. Excuse us while we invade Vietnam. Russia is the enemy. Excuse us while we invade Korea and set up a base. Russia is the enemy. Y'all don't know this. We were in Egypt too. Russia is the enemy. And we were in Turkey. Seriously. Didn't step foot on Russia though. Or didn't step foot in Russia one time though. Sound familiar? Distract, distract, distract. Hey, don't pay attention to what I'm doing over here. Look over here. Look over here. Look over here. With that being said, people, I would love to know your opinions about this. Make sure you click that subscribe button, like, comment, turn on that notification bell, and always remember, ladies and gentlemen, find your balance. Peace.